Welcome back to the On the Burst podcast. I'm your coach, Brandon Savage, and I'm joined by my assistant coach, Timothy Moody.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I like that, Timothy. I was actually thinking that I was going to officially change to, not officially, because I am an official Timothy, but use Timothy as a 40 plus. So I've got a little bit longer left to go of Tim, but I thought of introducing myself as Timothy.
Hello, I am Timothy.
Yeah, it's quite distinguished.
I was going to open with the boogeyman again.
Boogeyman. Yeah, Timmy Man versus the boogeyman. Yeah, the boogeyman. That's funny.
We're back on the burst. I think it's been maybe 4 weeks since it's just been me and you on the podcast, so it's good to be back. We had Hads on the last time we were here, and the time after that, you had the week off, and I was with Mikey and Nathan Shepherd. Did you catch that episode?
No, I caught the shorts, though.
Oh, no, you're a dog.
No, I was trying to stay off social media that week, so it was all part of the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, very good. So we had him on the podcast. He was a great addition to the podcast. So, he's a chance to take your spot.
Oh, yeah. Send him my way.
And last week, obviously, we didn't have an episode, and that's because I was away in Kempsey for work, and we weren't even in the studio at all. So apologies for that, but we're at episode 33 already of On The Burst. So 33 episodes of On The Burst. We've been kicking on nicely. I still wouldn't say we've hit our groove yet.
No, not yet. No, still just a few little bits and pieces, I guess, because it's we're putting a lot of attention into the Supercoach as well, and I think part of it might be we film on the same day, which we might, sort of maybe there's a few things we could look at to maybe boost this one and sort of give it a little bit more TLC.
Yeah, we're still very happy with how the podcast has gone. Like on the audio platforms, we're getting nearly as many listeners on this as we are the Supercoach show. But YouTube significantly less. So if you do watch on YouTube, please let us know because we want to know what we can do better and how we can improve the show. But we've got a big show today. We've got a big show planned. But firstly, we are running a Supercoach event on August 10th at 2 p.m. at Drink West. We've got guests the likes of Tom Sangster, Malachi Watini-Zalesniak, Maverick Geyer, the Cast Patrol, Mark Barnes, and Winston Neville. Tyson Pedro will be there, and also potentially Nathan Cleary.
Do you want to go through and list grade them as celebrities?
They're all Z grade
celebrities. No, Nathan Cleary, he'd be A grade, right?
In Australia
for football, yeah. For football, A grade celebrity.
A grade. Malachi is probably F.
Chuck him at a C. Oh, we've got to be
C because of his brother, I would say. Maverick Geyer.
Oh, he's getting a bit more his first grade Penrith player, so yeah, maybe chuck him at a B.
B?
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't say he's a B.
All right.
I'd say he's C or D.
Yep.
But still a pretty good
already
list.
Feel uncomfortable doing this. The time seemed like a good game. Let's just shit on all of our guests.
Tom Sangster.
Yeah, well, he's like
A grade Supercoach.
Yeah, for Supercoach.
Supercoach.
And as a bloke, A grade bloke as well.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we have put together. I feel like we've put together A grade list considering what are we? Why grade?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a good letter and a word that would go with it, like F for or something like that.
I think you'd be saying we're way too high if you said F.
Yeah,
So for Y grade podcasters, we've put together an A grade list, I would say, and that is August 10th, 2 p.m. at Drink West Brewery. Come down for a beer. A lot of giveaways, a lot of merch, and a lot of beer giveaways. So come down, watch footy. There's a good day of footy out there. But how has life been over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, just trying to, I guess, find little things in my life that I can just make slight improvements on here and there, and yeah, just sort of small goals and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm kind of got a few little things in place that I'm working on, and I'm feeling good at the moment. So
very good.
How about yourself, mate?
Oh, I guess kind of the same thing. I think you can always improve as a person, and I think as you get older, it just hits that you probably need to prioritize that as well.
Yeah.
Because you get into like, Like, I'm 31. I feel like I am still younger than I
Oh,
am.
great age to be still.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, look, I'm turning 39 in a couple of months, and it's getting pretty it's getting what's the word, midlife crisis-y.
Yeah.
Like, gonna need to get a Harley or something to sort of try and spruce things up. But yeah, no, you'll see what I mean. It gets a little awkward, but yeah. I'm excited about the next journey, but it's like, hold on a second, things have, yeah, in the second chapter now.
Do you know my birthday?
Oh, I'm not good at, anyone's birthdays.
I know your birthday, September 13th.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to chuck a date out here now and go. May the 12th.
Nah.
Yeah, we're how far off?
February 16th.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Happy birthday for them.
Let's move on to the footy. We're looking at Market Watch, and I want you to give a comment on where you think these players who have been told they're free to look elsewhere, where they would suit most at other clubs. So Val Holmes has been told he's free to look elsewhere. Where do you think?
Has he?
Yeah. Oh, you're off the socials, are you?
Yeah, I'm not like, I'm trying to be. It's part of my getting a little bit better. Like, social media is still important and stuff, and for things like growing podcasts and your life and things like that. But I was trying to spend a bit less time on what I'm absorbing. But yeah, okay. So these Sharks, I guess, would be on the back home.
Yeah. So Val Holmes has been told he's free to look elsewhere. Where do you think he would suit best at any club you could choose?
Oh, probably a Queensland club if it's not the Sharks, obviously.
Well, he's been linked with the Dragons.
Okay, yeah, well,
as a replacement for Zach Lomax, goal-kicking centre or winger.
It's an interesting swap, isn't it? I guess it's like, it's kind of like for like. I guess if you had said this 12 months ago, you'd think that getting Val Holmes for Lomax, that's the win, like taking Val Holmes. But at the moment, I feel like, they've kind of losing out. They can't really do anything about it because he's already gone. But yeah, I guess it's a good replacement for him from there.
I don't think he's linked with the Sharks, but I'd love.
Hard for him to fit in, eh?
Yeah, I think. I don't see him at the Rabbitohs, but I think he'd be a good purchase for the Rabbitohs. Not many other places. Like, he is linked with the Dragons. I do see him working at the Dragons, but I just think Cowboys. It just feels like he's a Cowboy.
Yeah, I don't know whether the Broncos, they might be able to, because they've sort of been a little bit lighter in
outside backs for sure. Yeah, it'd be nice if he could go there.
Yeah, and being a Queensland club as well, I think that could work out.
All right, Jack Bird has been told he's free to look elsewhere. Where do you think he would suit best?
He kind of feels like a journeyman that could just sort of
go anywhere.
Yeah, doesn't he? Yeah, there's not really anywhere that I'm kind of. What about yourself?
I think Parramatta. I think Parramatta, they're lacking outside
personality-wise, I kind of picture that as well too. Like, not that I know him personally, but just the vibe he kind of gives off gives that sort of working class sort of Parramatta vibe as well.
Yeah, like he could come off the bench or he could play in the centres with Will Penasini, with Lomax and Blaze Talangi on the wings. There's a lot of different options that could happen there. But I see him at Parramatta, maybe back to the Sharks to play utility role off the bench. I don't mind that. But, Brian To'o.
This one's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit.
Tell you what, bro. This one nearly sent me into fucking meltdown today at work. Like, I was trying to not be on my phone, but I'm like social media for like our chats for Supercoach and stuff. I'm still trying to keep across that. I'm just trying to not digest all of the rest of the stuff too much. And saw that, and freaking hell, man! Like, I got really upset for it. I was like, this is just one. That's one too many. Like, I was like, at least, like, we better at least keep Nathan till he ends. Like, I was getting very upset at that point. And then when I found out it was crap, I shouldn't have fell for it because I actually seen the Mole hacked tweet last night. So yeah, I seen that fake tweet, and then I fell for it today as well. I fell for it, but that would suck, bro. But do you know what? I started to come to terms with it because in the short term, it was about a half-hour window where I thought it was real. And I was kind of like, well, we probably are paying a lot of money for him. And I know he's like the best winger going around. And just the amount of work he does for us at the back is so... It's hard to compare that to, someone else that you'd bring in and do that. But with the system we've got, there always seems to be like someone else coming through and... Maybe at some point...
Maybe it could work.
Maybe. I don't want to get rid of him. I don't want to. I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I did have to come to terms with it for a second.
Okay, but let's just say he has to go to another club. Where would he suit?
Oh, we'd have to go to... Personally, I think he needs to stay with one of his mates. He'd need to go to the Tigers or the Dogs, I think. And when I heard the Roosters, that's what nearly bubbled me up and sent me into vomit mode. I was like... Yeah, I was really...
I would have hated that too.
Yeah, yuck.
Corey Horsburgh. He's been told he can look elsewhere as well, or he wouldn't be stopped if he was searching.
Mm.
I don't know about this one. Dogs. He's been loaned there.
Yeah, he's kind of got... I could see him there. You got to picture him in the jersey too as well. That's a big part.
He got loaned to the Dogs. Do you remember that?
Was it last year? Or?
No, it was a couple of years ago.
No, I can't remember.
But he's played for the Dogs
I do remember
before.
that loan period that was over the COVID. There was a lot going on a bit.
That was weird, eh?
Yeah. I don't know. But I'd like to see him come back and be at his best. It's sort of like he got injured and then sort of was on the... Dropped off, was on the outer, was not doing good in Reggie's.
Daniel Saifidi. I think... For this one, he's well loved at the Newcastle Knights. He's been told he's free to leave, so I think Newcastle are kind of upset about it. I think a club that needs someone who's lovable and can get around is the Tigers. And I think that they kind of, they're losing Stefano. He's probably a premier front rower. I
can picture him there, actually.
He's probably a premier front rower, but they're not getting the best out of him. Maybe they just need someone who they can love. And I think Dan Safidi at the Tigers would be great.
Yeah, well, I guess there's other clubs, like the Bunnies, that are sort of a bit thin on middles and stuff like that. I don't know how, what the Dogs, they seem like they just bought a lot last year, and I don't know if they've got too
They're
much.
Looking for middles, and apparently they're the front runners to get Stefano. So Stefano was the last one. I like Stefano at the Dogs.
I picture him in a Melbourne. I really picture him in a Melbourne jersey. I just can see it, visualize it, and I really think it'd be next level. I think he'd still go well with the Dogs, but I think they could get him close to a Payne Haas, not Payne Haas, but close, because I reckon he's got that ability. It's just about not consistently and and I think for him the main thing has just been. He seems like a guy that hates losing, and that seems like part of the reason why he does want to go as well.
Yep. All right, we got a listener question in, and it was from Instagram, and the question is, who makes the top 4 and who makes the top 8? Who do you think misses out?
I haven't really done my, what's that little thing you do, predictive thing?
The ladder predictor?
Yeah, and paid too much attention. But I think in my mind, just going off top 4 would be obviously Melbourne, Penrith, Roosters, and maybe the Dogs are a potential. They're 5th, aren't they? Yeah. So Sharks, with the fact that the Sharks' draw is so nice, you'd think that they should be able to win most of those games. I think they might have one. No. I think they don't even have one tough one in there. From a Supercoach point of view, I'm pretty sure when we looked at it a couple of weeks ago, it was all good. So, yeah, I don't think Manly. I think it is definitely within the current top 6. The Cowboys. Not the Cowboys, because their draw is tough. They've got a few tougher ones there. So I think the Doggies, that'd be a big one, wouldn't it? It'd be a big top 4. And I'll be honest with you, I'm starting to think of them as a genuine threat. Before I was like, oh, they're not. They're just overperformers, and they're going great. Their defense has been so consistent all year, and then last week they've changed gears in their attack, and that's what got me thinking. I was like, because the attack was the thing that was holding back. Yeah, they can keep you to less than 16 points, but from a point scoring point of view. I think they may have sort of addressed something and said, look, we're getting in close to the finals now, and yeah, we're playing great, but we probably need to try a couple of things. And then you could see them I don't know whether it was just that game, but they were, early spreads in their own end, like in their own 20 and 30. I don't know whether it was just identifying that because, the Broncos do like to defend quite tight and jam in, and their wingers are quite in. So it might have just been a 1 week thing, but I just wondered whether that was a flick that they switched in them, a flick they'd switched in their mind to go, let's turn this attack up because we're going to need the points. And they've got it. So look, it's just that their forward pack. I think that's where I kind of go.
Yeah,
but they're getting it done with those middle guys.
So I've just done my ladder predictor while you've talked that whole time.
Yeah, I thought you were doing something, so I thought I'd just keep going.
And here's how it follows: Storm in first, Panthers in second, Roosters in third, Sharks in fourth, Manly in fifth, Cowboys sixth, Bulldogs seventh, and Titans in eighth.
Dogs got a tough run, do they? Or you?
Who?
Dogs.
No, but they play the Cowboys, they play Manly, they play the Sharks. So I pretty much had Manly beating them. So maybe they probably finish above. I don't know if they win all them games.
It's so hard to pick. Like the ones that they could win.
And I did the Roosters beating everyone that they're around, like the Titans and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think the Roosters are locked into third. I think that's what we know, and we're getting Panthers versus Roosters week 1 at Bluebet Stadium, which is exciting.
Yeah, scary too.
It is quite scary.
But I'm excited though. I'm really excited about these finals. I think this one is the one. It's not so much that I don't believe in the Panthers as much. I think that the competition is bigger threat. Like Melbourne and the Roosters this year, I feel like are just a stronger competition than what, Broncos. Broncos. I'm saying that now, but then again, I remember last year I was like, Broncos are the next Penrith. They're just this young side that are So But Para and South I wasn't as intimidated by, but as much as what I would say I am the Roosters and the Storm.
Yeah, I said at the start of the year that the Broncos would come 9th, and I got all the comments up from that podcast. I'll actually get them up because it was really funny, the comments looking at them. One of them was, Broncos are not making the 8 based on losing 2 players with a dead face. Yeah. Another one was, no capable... Oh, fuck. Oh, what's that?
I'm glad you've got a little moment just to get back at a few of the commenters here, so that's nice for you.
No Capewell and no Flegler. Broncos to miss the top 8. I'd argue the replacements for these players are better. In what world do the Broncos miss the 8 this year? They might be the safest team in the 8. Even if they were to magically fall off, Reece Walsh will stomp teams like the Tigers, Dragons, Raiders.
Do you know what though? I remember when we did our things and you did have them out of there, and I was like, because they were my second side, and I was really keen on, the idea of them, having lost one and needing to lose one, and that whole story, and being so.
And you know what?
Hungry to get it back.
I also agreed with that to some extent, but it was more a gut.
Well, do you know where you got me and where I started to think, you might be onto something here is when you started to preach the depth to me. And, if Adam Reynolds was out, what happens? And then, the second row depth and stuff like that. And then it was kind of like, oh, yeah, maybe in that scenario. But because there was so much a vibe around them and buzz still.
You think they just win enough games, which I kind of agree
they
with.
Still, that you may not have got this one right yet. You know what I mean? They still may.
And also, I tip.
But if they scrape into 8th, if you pick 9th or 8th, it's pretty much it's pretty close.
I also tipped the South Sydney Rabbitohs to be the minor premiers.
Yeah.
So I
remember when you put it in the chat here, I was thinking, I'd love to go through and see which of the you predicted ones you got completely wrong and just sort of shoved that back in your face.
Do you want to know who I picked for the top try scorer?
I think you picked AJ.
No, I said I said that AJ is the obvious one, but I'm going to choose someone who's not obvious.
I picked Young. I can't remember who you picked though.
Actually, that's a pretty good pick. I picked Alofiana Khan Pereira.
Oh, and he's thereabouts.
He's on 19 tries. The next best is 16, Dean Mariner. Dom Young is not far behind 15, but I think with their draw, they can really...
It changes every week, hey? Like, I remember we addressed you did a quiz on me about 8 weeks ago of, like, can you guess the top 3 try scorers?
Yeah.
And it was the random, and then
Yeah.
the next week, they'd changed. And
Yep.
then, yeah.
You picked Jermaine Asako for top point scorer. You thought that was obvious. I picked Sam Walker.
He's pretty close, isn't he?
He's first. 169 points.
And he's only scored, like, 5 tries for the year, I
Yeah.
think.
I picked Sam Walker, and you said to me, he's going to be scoring a lot of tries, isn't he? He's on 154 points. He's only 15 points behind Jermaine Asako, but he has a bye to come.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting to see how that ends up. I think that'll be a close little one to pick out on. All right, we're going to play a game, and this game is, I was watching NRL 360 the other night, and I think NRL 360 is part of daily routine for any rugby league fans. And I think what they've got to at this point is it's nearly ridiculous, the arguments they try and pick out. So I want us to do a live NRL 360 segment, but we have to create drama from nothing. So the subject is the Roosters re-signed Daniel Tupou for 2 years. We've got to create an NRL 360 segment, and you've got to choose what side of the argument you want to be on and play it from there. So do you want to be the one who is against it, or...
I don't mind, you pick.
Yeah, you go against it, because I feel like your acting career, you can really pull a lot more out of your you-know-what than I can. All right. So I guess I'll start off as Braith. And the Roosters have just announced they've signed and the Roosters have just announced that Daniel Tupou has signed a 2-year deal extension with the club. Buzz, what are your thoughts on this re-signing?
Bryce. Bryce, Daniel Tupou. Look, the thing about Daniel Tupou, he's been a very good player for the Roosters for a very long time, and I think it's entitled to be re-signed. I think it's something that he's entitled to. He's been playing very good.
No, that's what I got. He's very. I was watching the other night. I love how he's very. He almost seems like he's about to. Sorry to break character.
No, you got to keep going. So I got a chance to act.
Okay, go do your James Hooper.
I'm James Hooper. Buzz, what you got to understand is they've got $2 million in the cap, and they're spending $500,000 on Daniel Tupou. I think this is going to create extra dramas in the future when they go to re-sign one of these young up-and-comers, Billy Smith. Dominic Young is on big wicket. I really don't understand how they can afford all this.
He's very punchy. He's almost like
Crawley.
He wants to get in the scrum. Hoops.
Crawley. Hoops. What you got to understand is the Roosters are in a position where they can win a comp. They've got to do it. Oh, I don't know. This was a bad segment.
The thing I like about Buzz, right, is he's got like he when he talks, like it's almost like he's it's like he's about to cry or something. Like he's very upset and very like it's a little bit
just old.
Yeah, I love it, man. I actually really
I like
find
Buzz.
him so endearing
I
and
like
beautiful.
Buzz.
Just like he's got his little notebook open. They've all got their run sheet, but he's got this whole book of notes, and he's got everything all. He's a little sweetheart. I think he cops it rough.
Timmy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's very good. That was really good. Yeah, you got
Timmy.
that good. You
Buzz.
said Timmy good.
Hi. Okay. We're 10 minutes away, so we'll be right behind you.
Thanks,
All good.
brother.
Bryce.
Yeah, bro. You got that right. Yeah.
I can't say a sentence. Give me a sentence to say.
Oh, bro, you got that right. I'd stop while you're ahead. That was so good. Right. Yeah, right.
Bryce. Daniel Tupou. Oh, no.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
pretty
do it.
good.
I
That's
can't do
pretty
it.
good.
All right, let's play a game. All right. We haven't talked about the Nathan Cleary field goal a couple of weeks ago. Clutch? Okay, I want you to tell me your top 3 clutch Nathan Cleary moments.
Oh, the one, when he had to kick the field goal, but he had to kick a field goal, but it needed to be a 2-pointer.
Against Parramatta?
Yeah, and he had to kick it kick the penalty, like the penalty out.
So he had to kick for touch, but that had to be precise.
Yeah.
And he just had to be in the right spot. He needed 2-point field goal.
That was ridiculous.
Last play of the game?
Yeah,
Where does that rank for you?
Oh, that's probably second for me.
Yep.
And then like grand final number, like that whole moment.
Yep.
And then on return, like that was on.
You reckon that's third?
Maybe.
It'd be up there.
There's probably other ones that are kind of, because it's fresh on the mind. I think that's because it was on return. It was like 40 out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think
on an angle.
I think because that Parramatta moment is still number 2. That wasn't far off like that, but that was to win the game. That Parramatta one was to equal the game. He did that. So much pressure. Didn't even stand in field goal position. He was just right next to the ruck. Yeah, he's clutch, and I'm probably with you with that 1, 2, 3. But that's not the game we're playing. Who do you think has who has the best chance to win the Dally M medal this year? Nathan Cleary or Kalen Ponga?
To win the Daily M this year?
Yep.
Neither.
Who has a better chance?
Ponga. Well, Cleary's only played like 6-7 games, I think.
Well, if he polls really well for the rest of the season, he could do a late run like Kalen Ponga last year.
Yeah, maybe.
Where he's already got 12 points, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah, I've just put a line through him, so I just thought that was a... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Nathan Cleary or Kalen Ponga?
How many games? I'd have to look into it.
Just say.
I think Cleary can play
Who has
better.
the best chance?
Neither, but Cleary. Because this is going to get clipped up, and I'm going to say Cleary, and everyone's going to go, what's he fucking... This cunt thinks Cleary's going to get the Daily M.
Who has the best chance to win the Daily M? Who has the best chance to win the Daily M medal this year? Nathan Cleary or Kalen Ponga?
I'll give it to Cleary.
Nathan Cleary or Nico Hines?
Oh, I see where you're going then. Okay, there's more.
Yes!
Nico
Hines or Scott Drinkwater?
Scott Drinkwater.
Scott Drinkwater or Zach Lomax?
Zach Lomax.
Zach Lomax or Matt Burton?
Zach Lomax.
Zach Lomax or Jerome Hughes?
Jerome Hughes.
Jerome Hughes or James Tedesco?
Fuck, I didn't think anyone was going to beat Jerome Hughes because in my mind, that's who I've got in my mind as Daily M. But maybe James Tedesco, hey, like flying under the radar. You discount everything because didn't make the blue side and is,
No, but that's why he can get it.
Yeah, it's a lot of time on the field. It's between those two, isn't it?
I reckon James... I put up a post on the Instagram the other week. I think he's...
You think
I reckon
he's
he's a shoo-in, yeah.
He probably is, hey?
And, I think Jerome Hughes, he's just fallen off enough over the last couple of weeks while James Tedesco's probably polled points. James Tedesco is my favourite.
I don't know that either of them were really much in the mix when it closed off. I don't remember any of their names being too much in... I wasn't watching too deep, but I don't think they're around the top 3 or 4 from memory.
No.
Those players, they were random ones like Zach Lomax. I think there was Dylan Edwards was one of them. I guess his name's probably still got to be in that grouping as well. He's going to miss a bit of games.
All right, so when it went behind closed doors, it was Dylan Edwards first at 31 points, Nico Hines at 30 points, Daly Cherry Evans at 27, Isaiah Yeo at 24, James Tedesco at 23 points, and then Kikau, Katoa, Carrigan, Tom Trebojevic was at 21.
Yeah, so from that point of view, I think he might be honest. I hadn't really thought about Daly M all year, really, and it was only just I think this week that I kind of had a bit of a I wonder who's going to win that. Just because I was trying to think who is the best player? It's been a bit hard to kind of, and then just to my mind, I thought, well, from a form point of view, I just thought Jerome Hughes, but I didn't think too much into it. And as soon as you said Teddy, I'm like, well, that's a great compliment. I'd like to see either of them get that. I mean, Jerome Hughes hasn't.
I always like seeing someone new win it, but I think if James Tedesco won it, I'd be very happy because
it'd be a nice surprise for everything else that he sacrificed in losing his spot, but still being excellent at club level and being the best player at club level. That'd be a great story.
He probably deserved it two more years than what he got. He got it. I'm pretty sure he got it, 2019. I think he probably deserved it 2018 as well. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck got it that year, and I think that rewarded him being in a mediocre side that won enough games. I'm pretty sure 2020 he was a good chance as well. That was the year Jack Whiten won it.
You reckon there's anyone else? Like, I'm just trying to picture the Dally M medal thing where they're doing the points.
Anyone
It's
else?
got to be those two guys, right?
It really depends on these last few weeks.
Yeah, it can
'Cause,
influence
like,
things. Hey, a long time in footy, 6 weeks.
I would say Tom Trbojevic polled a lot of points in his last 2 weeks, and he was on the leaderboard before he got injured. But Tedesco's played
Do you know
throughout that
what,
whole
though?
period.
Yeah, and I just think like it's much. I hate to shit on Turbo or whatever, because it's like I think it's because we compare him to how good he has been.
Yeah.
I just don't think unless he was to have a mad 6 weeks, he doesn't feel right that in my gut that he's the best player of the season. Yeah, at all. So, but yeah, on gut vibe and just like
I think Teddy.
from the like a whole season point of view, they've been very
Yeah,
consistent.
for sure.
Those two blokes.
For sure. All right, blind rank these players. Daniel Tupou.
Oh, okay, I forgot how to play the game was. I was
Yep.
waiting for the next player.
Yeah. So blind rank these players 1 to 5. Daniel Tupou.
4.
Alofina Campiera.
This is not like now, like because I'd have him above now. I'd have him better, but then like now if I had to pick a side today, I'd pick Campiera for his speed and finishing ability. But Tupu over his career, like it's
I'll make sure to put that in for
what
context.
is it? What is it for now? Like now?
Yeah, just now.
Okay, now. Yep. So Campiera, I'll stick him at 1 above. I'll go to 3.
Jason Saab.
Ooh, Jason Saab, I prefer him. I'll go 2.
Murray Taulagi.
I know he's a State of Origin player. I know that. The speed factor, I kind of don't want to put him above Saab, but I don't want to put him at 5 either. I don't want to put him at 5. I don't know what you got left for me, so it's 1 or 5. Yeah, I can stick him at 5.
Sania Turuva.
So he's number 1.
So you
Don't like my list. I don't like it. It's blind. But if I was to have a go of that, geez, it's a tough list, isn't it? Because they've kind of like if you just you take everything out of the picture and just go just on now. I'm probably going. I don't know. A part of me wants to say Saab, but I think it's just on the back of like the Manly, not as an individual. Like his speed's mad. Like, and it's same as Campiera too.
Yeah.
Murray Taulagi hasn't really impressed me much this year, and I know he's a great player.
I think he played well on the weekend, but he doesn't excite me either. Like he doesn't have blistering speed or massive tackle bust ability. He's kind of like in between.
Yeah.
Which is
he's
okay.
a good player, very well rounded for sure.
Daniel Tupou is kind of the same.
Probably you'd pick him number 1 at his best, like maybe.
I don't know.
At his best.
I don't know because if you've got Jason Saab on Daniel Tupou's wing, do you think Jason?
It's hard because we haven't seen all the others at their best too.
I think Turuva's number 5 easily for me.
I think that's just a really hard list. I just can't. I find them all very uncomparable as well because you got some of like 2 really fast guys.
When I said Daniel Tupou at the start, we were expecting Brian Tottle's going to come up and Jacob Graz and.
I didn't know where it was going to go. I first thought it was going to be a Roosters winger thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's where I thought you might be going.
Yeah, right. All right. I think that's it for the On the Burst podcast for this week. Yeah.
Bloody oath.
Cool.
Strong carries.
Yeah, strong carries, footy terms, 40-20s. 40-20s.
Yeah.
I saw this guy try and say footy terms in front of people and he didn't follow footy and he tried to join in on this conversation. It was like a video or something. And he was saying he went up to someone talking about footy and he was like, oh yeah, 40-20s. Scrums.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. Just trying to chuck in the what is it? It's called the jargon. Yeah.
The lingo.
Yeah.
What is up and welcome back to the Supercoach Experience
Cool. All right. Cheers for tuning in. We'll see you next week.